Okay, picture this. You're holding a glass of beer. You see the bubbles rising, that foam at the top. It's a familiar sight, right? A moment of simple pleasure. But what if I told you that what you're holding isn't just a drink? What if, hiding in plain sight, there's an ancient mystery, a secret that could completely change the way you see it? Let's dive in.
Yeah, I know, that's a pretty bold statement, and it's not some kind of clever wordplay. We're about to unpack a truth that stretches across thousands of years of history, spirituality, and, believe it or not, the alchemy of the human soul. Because this stuff, it's so much more than just water, barley, and yeast. It's been seen as a portal, a symbol, and a kind of hidden legacy.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? If beer isn't just a beverage, then what on earth is it? Well, to find the answer, we have to look way past the modern bar scene. We've got to journey back in time, thousands of years, to a time when its purpose was, well, it was completely different.
Today, when you hear the word beer, you probably think of parties, sports, social gatherings, but in the ancient world, this golden liquid, it wasn't made for fun. It was created for something way, way more profound. You heard that right, veneration. Originally, beer wasn't something you just casually drank. It was something you honored. It was understood not as a party drink, but as this powerful elixir for spiritual connection, a kind of bridge to the divine.
And this wasn't just in one place. This idea was everywhere. I mean, look at ancient Mesopotamia. They literally sang hymns to Ninkasi, the goddess of fermentation, because they saw the process as a straight-up miracle, turning lifeless grain into this living, vibrant nectar. Then you go to Egypt, and it's a sacred offering poured out for the gods themselves, a powerful symbol of abundance and the whole cycle of rebirth. And for the Norse, mead and beer were what the heroes drank in Valhalla, a toast to eternal life and transformation. You see the pattern here? In every single one of these ancient cultures, beer was a massive symbol of metamorphosis.
So why? What made it so sacred? Well, the secret is actually in the process itself, a process that these ancient cultures saw as a perfect metaphor for the spiritual journey of humanity. It was like they saw a blueprint for transformation.
And this is the core of it, right here. Fermentation as a symbolic death and rebirth. Think about it. The solid, ordinary grain has to die. It gets broken down, boiled, totally transformed. And then, thanks to the magic of yeast, this dead mixture suddenly springs to life. It becomes something elevated, energized. They saw that and thought, that's us. That's a mirror for the human soul.
And they broke it down into these brilliant stages. First, you have the grain. That's the self, surrendering to something bigger. Then comes the fire. That's purification. The trials and challenges we all go through that prepare us for change. Then, the ferment. That's the mystery, that magical moment of rebirth where new life just appears out of nowhere. And finally, you see the bubbles. That's ascension. That's the spirit rising, becoming lighter, freer. It's the whole journey of awakening, all happening right there in the brewing process.
And it gets even deeper. The process was also seen as this perfect harmony of the four classical elements. You've got earth in the grain, fire in the heat that transforms it, air in those bubbles of life, and water holding and unifying the whole thing. It was like a miniature version of the entire universe, tangible proof that when you bring the elements together in just the right way, you create life and transformation.
But this is where the story takes a turn. Over time, that sacred key to understanding got kind of lost. What was once a tool for spiritual connection took on a totally different role in our modern world.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. The substance itself isn't good or bad. The power of any object, whether it's sacred or just, a thing, it's all determined by the intention we bring to it. It's like a knife, right? You can use it to slice bread for your family, or you can use it to hurt someone. The difference is in the hand that holds it.
So you've got these two totally different paths using the exact same substance. The ancient path saw beer as a key, a tool to unlock connection, insight, and a higher state of consciousness, but the modern path often treats it like a padlock, a way to escape reality, a distraction, a kind of anesthetic for life that leads to just oblivion. The whole focus shifted from communion to simple consumption. And wow, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It really sums up the tragedy of it all. When we lost our connection to the sacred, we started drinking not to remember who we are, but to forget. What used to be a medicine for the soul became an anesthetic for our modern anxieties. So, okay, what do we do with all this? How do we use this knowledge? Well, bringing back this sacred sense doesn't mean you have to start performing ancient rituals. It's about learning how to apply this incredible metaphor of transformation to our own modern lives.
So here are 5 practical keys we can pull from this ancient wisdom. First, honor transformation. Be willing to let go of old parts of yourself to make room for something new. Second, act with intention. You can turn any mundane act, making coffee, taking a walk, into a sacred ritual just by being fully present. Third, choose communion over escape. Before you do something, just ask yourself, am I doing this to connect with something or to run away from something? Fourth, balance your inner elements. Your physical body, your willpower, your thoughts, your emotions, bring them into harmony. And finally, number 5, re-enchant your life. Actively start looking for the profound mystery that's hidden in all the ordinary things around you.
Because ultimately, the great teaching of the beer isn't that we have to drink it, it's that we have to live like it. We have to allow ourselves to be transformed. The true ritual is all internal. It's about living with conscious intention and realizing that every single moment has the potential to be sacred.
And that really brings us to the core of this whole thing. The alchemical secret. It was never actually hidden in the beer itself. It was hidden in a way of seeing the world, a perspective that can find the divine in the mundane, the extraordinary in the ordinary. We're the ones who forgot how to see it.
So, I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. If something as common as beer can hold such a profound blueprint for transformation, what else in your life is just sitting there, waiting for you to see it with new eyes? What everyday object or routine is just waiting for you to make it sacred?